Going on, everybody? How's life treating everyone? I am doing well. I am trying to make sure that I'm not dropping frames like I was. I think I figured out what was going on, but I'm not 100% sure. So we're gonna try something slightly different and slightly new. Let me get this out real quick. You. Then. Yeah, we're running some, oh, I gotta turn that on too. Shit, I forgot to start that up. We are running, some double XP this weekend. But I think this is running a little bit better. Oh, no. I will do that next. I think this is running a little bit better than what it was. I mean, I'm still dropping, but I about half. Every time the FPS dropped below 60, I would drop. But this game should not be having FPS issues. I don't know what's going on. All right, we'll give that a shot. See if that does anything. Maybe that'll help too. Maybe. All right. Let's see if that ends up doing what I want it to do. So the problem is that my every once in a while, what was going into OBS would dip below 60, and then I would drop a frame. And that was getting really fucking annoying. So, we'll try that. And I need to get hard drives. I need a few 4 terabyte hard drives. Really hoping... Okay, let me double check this real quick. While that's... yeah, I got this NAS, and so far, out of the drives that I've thrown in there, only 3 of them have popped up and shown that they're working, so that's fun. Kill that. Nope. This. Nope. What's up?
Oh, she's doing, quizzes. Like, which Five Nights at Freddy's character are you?
Yeah, she was doing those the other night, too. It was kind of funny. I think that's right.
I hope so. Learn to read better, so.
Yes. Well, yeah, that's what I was thinking. I mean, it's like it's reading, and not just reading, but like reading comprehension, too.
Yeah.
Definitely nothing wrong with that.
Nope.
Alright, cool. I think everything's working now. I still would like to know why it keeps dropping down, but whatever. Dude, it's been so long since I've played outside of the laptop, like played this on the desktop. It's weird. And
So what are you gonna do first?
I'm gonna cook this fish that I caught, and then I'm going to look at what I've got and probably open up my keys.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll open up the keys, figure out what I'll have after that, and then I'll see where I'm at. But yeah, no, I think that's the first thing I'll do. I mean, we can always meet up and I can do that other stuff with you too. Are there boosts going on somewhere?
Usually, probably at the Grand Exchange.
I wonder if there's
Normally
a better world for that right now. Because I think
Um,
we're in 77, which his focus is dungeoneering.
well, yeah.
I don't know if there's, because you know how those world things go sometimes, where they all collect up or
Yeah.
they don't.
I mean, we can go to a busier world. Probably more likely
The
to
Hall of
get.
Memories yet? Well, I'll go flock over there, flocka, and see what's going on.
Well, there's not a ton of people over here, but I've got a portable crafter set up, and I'm going through. I've got 330 hides left, so almost done.
I did just hit 60 in agility through that whole thing.
Nice. Yeah, those boots really help.
I'm not sure this is where I go. Is it?
So after 7,800 and some hides, I am crafting level 96.
Wait, no, this is... I can't believe I have forgotten where everything is in this. There's the Grand Exchange. Edgeville's where I want to pop in to go
Edgeville.
across.
Yep.
Like, I forgot everything. Nothing is as it seems. Is there are bloodwood trees something that we should go after?
No, I think that you have to do a quest or something to get that.
Okay. I could remember.
Actually, I could give you some cooking potions if you want to cook those sharks.
Eventually, possibly. I'm not worried about it right this minute.
Yeah, well, it's just because I think it increases your levels by 3, or maybe just 1.
Oh yeah, there is not a lot of people over here at all, is there?
I mean,
comparatively,
there's enough that I've got an extra 10% boost on. But no, there's not a whole lot of people. We could try for another world if you want. The one I normally go in has been completely full all day, so.
Which one's that?
2. We're normally going 2 and it's full. And then 1 was full earlier too, so. I just went with whatever it suggested.
Get XP. Do you get double XP from lamps and shit?
No. You do from the training dummies and the protean stuff, but not from lamps.
Gotcha. Let's see. Magic. A bonus XP. Spring cleaner to recharge it. An Archon chest? The chestware of a Armillian Archon? Is that any good? Huh?
I have no clue.
I'll convert it to oddments. I don't care. 150 protein materials of your choice, please. Alright, that's the first 10. What do we got now, Jim? Bonus XP. Portable skilling pack?
Oh, those are good right now. Those are good to have. Those are good for your protein stuff. Protein.
Protein. Protein. Bonus
I
XP?
don't even know how you say it.
Protein. A large XP lamp in cooking.
There you go.
That'll help. Lots of fallen stars. Hey, you get lots of bonus XP. I'm not sure. I'm going to dump it all into one of them, but I'm not sure which one yet. I don't know if I'll use it right away or if I will wait to see where I'm at after I do all the packs for...
Yeah. Also, did you already claim the Twitch Prime thing?
There was another Twitch Prime thing?
No, I mean there was one like a couple weeks ago.
I don't know. I'll have to double check.
It was like
I think I did.
Valentine's pack or something.
I think so?
Okay. I was just making sure.
Red dragon hide? I can get 27 red dragon hides?
Those are good for crafting.
That's one of the things that I need to build up, right? It's
Yeah.
crafting, smithing, and... yeah.
Divination.
Divination. The headwear of darkness. Or 1,000 protein traps.
Ooh.
Backpack the traps. Let's see.
Did I put those?
A shaman's leggings increase summoning experience gained by 1% when worn. Or the sous chef jacket increase cooking experience gained by 1% when worn.
The sous chef one is good. I got some of those.
More bonus XP. Fallen star, some more bonus XP. Large fallen star. Alright, I gotta deal with this stuff up real quick. No. Go back over. Okay. What was it? Divination, right?
Yep. Now, if you dump your bonus XP stars into, one of the ones that you need to increase, and then select that for your protein stuff,
Yeah.
that the bonus does apply toward that.
Yeah, I knew that, which is why I
Okay.
dumped that whole first set into... Yeah. Yep, I did know that. Protein power-up. Oh, yeah, that's right. And then a medium skill training dummy crate. All right. Now... Oh, wait. So those are the skilling packs, right? Boy, I feel so slow and sluggish at this because it's been so long since I've played on here.
Yeah, I play all the time. In another hour, we can buy more keys.
They have a whole sous chef thing where you can collect them all, huh?
Yep, there's stuff like that for a lot of the skills.
Nice. All right, let's see what else I got. Bonus. Yeah, I think I'm gonna focus on grabbing bonus as much as possible.
Yep. If there's like special items, I might take those if I were you, because they don't come up all that often.
Gotcha.
Plus, some of them, even if you don't want them, you can sell for quite a bit of money.
Alright, I will definitely do that. A divine maple tree?
Oh yeah, you can cut it and get logs that only last for like 50 seconds or something like that.
Oh, that's for Slayer. No, for... more bonus XP. I think a lot of bonus XP stuff, which is good. Bonus XP during double XP? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, a couple days ago,
There we go.
I had some thieving dummies, and I had so many boosts on me. I was getting like 1,300 or something like that per. I don't know. It was quite a bit.
Summoning focus? Used to focus your summoning energy, boosting your summoning XP gains.
I don't know what that is. I never picked those because I don't really know what they are.
More protein packs. Things summoning. All right. What is the D&D weekly tokens?
It allows you to do a weekly distraction and diversion more than once a week. Like, you can do it twice. I have a bunch of those and I never use them.
Yeah, that's why I just kind of was like, I'll go ahead and... I mean, a lot of what I'm doing right now is focused on the 3, but... You know what? Oh, I should have... oh, well. Another star. Another star. Oh, okay, those are...
A 100 left.
Oh, what?
100 hides left. This has been like a 2-day thing.
A 2-day thing? Oh, with all the hides? Yeah.
Yep. Half the day. Well, maybe not 2 days, but half the day yesterday and half the day today.
It's not necessarily a bad thing.
Well, it's nice because I can knit while it's going.
Yeah. Okay. That's done. Oh. Alright, now that I've got that... Let's... that and all yes. Okay.
I have some clue scrolls too I can probably do.
Oh, I'll probably get some clue scrolls going at some point.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's probably not the best thing to do for double XP, but...
Memories. Use all and memories. Wow, I have 3,200 memories.
Nice.
Plus I have 2,000 other stuff. Oh wait, activate one. 5 minutes of the protein power up. So I can use it with increased speed. That works.
couple other people doing that too.
Yup. There's a whole small handful of us doing it. So 10% XP boost plus double XP plus the... Yeah, this is going to go by a little bit. So I need to be 80 divination.
$80 crafting and 80 smithing?
Yeah. I got a long way to go.
Crafting or construction?
It's crafting.
Okay.
So I'm like 75 in crafting, and I'm 70 in smithing, but I'm only 50 in divination.
Well, that 3,200 you got will help with that.
Yeah, that'll help quite a bit with that. And even the protein, if I get to the point where I'm out of here, I can always convert them over to bars to do the smithing. The protein bars?
Yeah, I don't think the 3,200 will get you to level 80, but it'll get you quite a bit.
Well, I still have a whole bunch of double XP or the bonus XP stars still. I used half of them already on my divination.
That'll help a lot.
But I'm just trying to figure out making sure that I get... Oh, this is going to get me quite a bit, though.
Yeah.
Like, this is going to get me a lot further than I was expecting it to get me.
Yeah, compared to, like, normal... Like, doing the normal divination stuff, that's a lot faster.
It looks like every 60 I'll be able to get 15,000 XP.
Nice. Yeah, that'll get you pretty far.
So that'll be nice and helpful.
After these are done, still gonna have around 440,000 left to crafting level 97. But this got me quite a ways.
Well, already jumped up one full level in divination.
Yeah, it'll go fast at first. 5 left.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on how much bonus XP I got left.
Yeah. Because that makes a huge difference.
Well, because of how much is in here, I might dump the rest of these fallen stars I have into it. I was just kind of keeping an eye to see how much it was, but yeah, it's going to be... I think it'll be needed. Is there a way that I can redo and resize the layout of all this?
What do you mean?
Like the layout on my... With the magic book, the backpack, the...
There used to be. I can't figure it out now.
I'll have to dig around and we'll figure it out. I'm sure Tone or Yelly or... I'm sure someone will know. Someone somewhere will know. Yep, I got about 15,000 per run through.
Nice. I just discovered you can tan leather on these crafter things.
Oh, I have gained 110,000 bonus experience in my,
Nice.
Grab this.
Funny honest.
All right, how much time is this thing? Doesn't say. Okay. Well, cool. This'll keep churning this out. $169,000 bonus XP left in this thing.
Nice.
We got it. Oh, hey, Force. I am playing Runescape. Hey, what's up, Trident?
Hola.
Been a minute, man.
Yeah.
How's all the extra work?
Extra work. That's exactly what it is.
Does it at least come with extra pay?
Oh, of course. That's the most important. I gotta pay for all these purchases.
Oh, boy.
I bought a water softener today.
Oh, boy.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. I mean, I've needed one. I should have had them put or plumb it in when I had the place as
Yeah.
an option, but I didn't think about it until the water is absolutely terrible and hard and all that, you know.
Oh, that's cool, man.
So, luckily, Menards has 11% rebate.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I think Lowe's gives me I think it's 10% discount immediately for the for veteran status.
Oh, nice, nice.
So for when you talk about bigger appliances, 10% adds up fast.
Yeah, it does. And you're like, well, I just saved $200 on whatever.
Yeah.
Or yeah, and then combine it with like your credit card cash back if you have that.
Yep.
It's nice saving money.
Mhm.
It's an easy way to do it too.
So, gonna install that in May when my dad comes back from Florida.
Oh, okay.
Because there's not really a good place to put it or drain it, really, is more the problem.
Do you have a basement?
Yeah, just got to figure out where to tie it in. Like, the only thing
Electric
I have in the
football.
basement is a floor drain
That's interesting.
into a ejection pump.
Well, okay, there you go.
So, probably just going to tie it into the floor drain that's already there for the furnace. So,
Yeah.
hopefully it's not too much water for that drain.
It shouldn't be.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. So it's either that or tie it into the pipes that are...
So is it a saltwater softener then?
Yeah.
Buy bags of salt at a time and dump it in when it's full.
Yep, and this is like they're rated on how many grains it has, and mine's a 48,000 one, so it should last longer.
Nice.
I mean, Menards really didn't have that many options, so.
Nah. Sweet.
But,
yeah, I just got this NAS. I plugged it in to the hard drives. It's not accepting because I pulled hard drives from one of the other servers that I got. So it's only looking at 3 hard drives right now. And I'm like, well, these are 3 1 terabyte drives, and I'm not liking this.
Is it an issue where it's not recognizing the drive, or is it
I gotta pull it out and see if it didn't plug in properly.
Because the other thing is maybe it's the old servers didn't have a RAID card, did it?
Might have.
Because usually if a drive is connected to a RAID previously, it stores like its information.
Oh, two of the drives were in that old server did show up.
Oh,
two did not, and one was a brand new drive.
It could be the connector. I don't know.
Well, so the ones
Not
that
seating right.
didn't. Hang on a sec. The ones that didn't were Seagate drives that aren't as tall as the Western Digitals. So it saw all 3 Western Digitals, none of the 2 Seagates.
Not as tall.
Yeah, so it's like half size. So I think it just didn't sit. It didn't seat right. Because there's a problem with the screw. It's finicky. I gotta poke at it some more.
Does it have caddies, or is it?
Yeah, it's got caddies. It's got hot swap caddies. But the problem is that it screws in through the bottom, not the sides.
Yeah.
And when you have the screws in, it doesn't fit down through the slides because it blocks itself out.
Cool.
So you can't screw the drives into the caddies, actually, it looks like.
Are they the screws that came with it, or?
Yeah, they're the screws that came with the NAS.
It's interesting.
Yeah, no, it's slightly annoying. I didn't spend too much time on it. I just kind of went through, plugged it in, made sure that it would connect properly, and looked at it and was like, okay.
Are you looking for used drives or new ones?
Right now, I don't care.
Because if you look over on Reddit on Home Lab sales on that subreddit,
yeah,
you can probably find people selling used drives for fairly cheap.
Okay. Because I know that he said that it freaked out if each drive was over 4 terabytes. So.
Oh, interesting.
So I'm limited to total of 20 terabytes.
Well, you want to try a 14 terabyte in there?
I think he said that 8s weren't working, but I would. Yeah, I'll try 14.
Because I just installed 2 14 terabytes in my system.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Needed to replace a couple drives.
Gotcha.
And surprisingly, they were a lot cheaper than you would think. The NAS specific drives were like $400 each, and these were like $270, I think.
Yeah, so I don't think I'm going to use it as straight backup storage. I think I'm going to play around with using it for all of like my asset storage and for that kind of accessible storage that I can pull from anywhere then. Because it is QNAP, which means I do have access externally to be able to send it to somebody or whatever.
Yeah, what does it allow you? I don't know what their interface is like. I'm more familiar with Synology. Does it like let you install like apps and things like that?
I think so. I know that there's a way that I can do virtualization on it too.
Yeah, if it lets you run Docker, that would be okay. I don't know what you sent it to me. Let me look up
I
that.
don't know how good the specs are for doing a lot of extra stuff like that. That's the only thing for me is I was like, I don't want to push it too harsh.
Well, yeah, let me look it up and see what... It has an AMD quad core? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's an AMD quad core, but it's also like built-in type of a thing.
It's one of the SoCs. Yeah. It's 64-bit, surprisingly. Okay.
And I think, hang on, let's see if it
3.
does it give me the specs somewhere in here.
You can scale up to 21 drives with
Oh,
extension
firmware update.
closure.
Let's do that.
Yes, do that. That's probably... Oh, you can get a 10 gig network card to put into it
Yes.
if you ever get that far.
If I ever get that far, I definitely will. Like there's depending on whatever happens with on the YouTube side, if it starts kind of ramping where I'm like, okay, I can start using some more of this shit, then I will start upgrading networks and doing that. But for right now, I don't have a need for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of holding off on going insane.
Oh, they support iSCSI.
Yeah, it's not a bad little NAS system. I mean, especially for my price point.
Yeah. So...
Which it was free and delivered, so I'm not bitching about the price point at all.
So you can run... They have an Android icon on here. I don't think you can run Android on there.
No, I think the Android icon was for the configuration and for admin side.
Oh, apps.
They have an app for Android to be able to communicate with it.
Uh-huh. And you know it's old when it has the G Plus logo on there?
Ooh.
And the 2013 Windows or Office icon. Let's see. Oh, it supports drives that self-encrypt. Interesting. So you can back up to S3, Glacier, Dropbox, Google Cloud. Does it support? What else does it support?
What?
Oh, you can use it as a camera monitor and record from IP cameras.
That's kind of nice.
Up to 4, and then you pay for a license to expand that. But,
Well, yeah, of course.
but I wouldn't run probably even 1 on an AMD because that's
No,
not a great
I'm not.
CPU.
I am pretty much looking at this thing as being primarily for storage only.
If it supports installing, trying to find their app directory.
The only other thing that I might put on here would be a local, or try, or somewhat attempt, would be a local Bedrock server for the youngest, my wife, and I, just to mess around with on here at home.
Well, if it says virtualization, but
Yes.
how? It does say Windows, which is interesting.
It's rebooting right now, so.
I'm trying to figure out what underlying VM they're using.
I think limited Docker support, but I think it was L something or other.
LVM?
I think so.
That's not LVM. That's
Hey Hills, I just hit level 55 in divination.
Nice.
So I've jumped up 5 levels so far. Well, 6 technically.
It also depends on how much RAM you have on there.
It's rebooting right now, and I will look to see what RAM, because I think he said he upgraded it, so I might be running a higher RAM than what originally popped in.
Maybe
I have to
8
look.
gigs. I think it's only one RAM slot, maybe 2. I don't know.
I did not crack it open to look, because I didn't care.
I'm looking for the manual. They do have a update from this month you can install.
It's rebooting after the new firmware, so I don't know if it's incremental and how many I got. Yeah, they're still actively supporting it, which is insane to me.
Well, I mean, it's just an OS, so it's not like it's like an Android phone where they have to build it specifically for it.
Yeah.
It's really just a computer. Let's see. Where's their... Oh, let's just look at the data sheet. Maybe that'll tell me.
Well, as soon as it reboots and lets me back in, I will EMU a username, a password, and a location to go to.
Okay.
And that way you can just kind of take a look at it if you want to poke around.
So it comes with 8 gigs, or 2 to 8 gigs, upgradable to 16.
So I don't know if it's upgraded all the way to 16 or if it's somewhere between 8 and 16.
Well, if they had the base model, then probably 8. Or I don't know. It really depends. Hit this 512 flash. Interesting. Only uses 50 watts.
Yeah, no, it's very power sippy.
Yeah.
It doesn't guzzle power, which is nice. Give me a sec, I'll be right back.
Okay.
There is one little quirk that I don't like about it. Every time it powers on or off, I have to unplug the Wi-Fi or the Ethernet from source, so from my router, and plug it back in to get it to respond to actually having Ethernet.
Interesting.
Yes. That's one way of putting it.
Compatibility. Oh, it says with the latest firmware, it should support up to 14 terabytes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Push to what? It's connecting up a new NAS that I have there.
What model is this? This is... They're saying it's the surveillance works with it. Oh, they even tested it with the Toshiba 16 gigs. Seagate.
So it will work with the bigger ones now.
It may. I mean, it doesn't say. That's a TS563, right? That's what you sent me.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, it's on the recommended drive list. So you can go to the QNAP site and look at compatibility.
That would be nice, because I could just find the used drives or whatever that are even bigger and give myself much more storage.
Yeah,
Then I could actually use it for a
find,
lot better.
like 6 terabytes, probably fairly cheap, since everybody's upgrading to the higher ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can get 6 or 8 terabytes in there, 5 drives, that's a lot.
Yeah, no. And then I can, even if I wanted redundancy, because if I get it big enough, I'll use it for video storage.
Mm-hmm. Udis.
This would be Fat Kid.
It is.
Just trying to sell you on buying more expensive stuff.
No, I got gifted a NAS, and I'm just trying to figure out what I'm gonna do for drives for it.
Like it has no drives currently? Or...
Yeah, well, right now I have 3 1-terabyte drives in it.
We're not going to mention what he had to do to get it.
See, you say things like that. It makes it sound a lot worse than what it was.
Just a quick blowy. It probably wasn't that big of a deal.
Who said anything about quick? The guy was a champ.
I just want to make sure he got his money's worth. That's funny.
All right. Update the firmware, and now it has problems connecting. That's wonderful.
Cool.
Oh, well. Ah, there we
What's
go. Now
everyone
I'm
been
back.
up to?
I am taking advantage of double XP in RuneScape right now. And playing around with a NAS. QTS 4.5.2 official. Enhanced management. Enhanced virtualization.
4.5.2, did you say?
452, yes.
That's the latest. Cool. And it supports everything. Container station is Docker, I'm assuming.
Let's see here.
Oh no. It's LXC and Docker, which is cool.
Yeah, I thought it was LXC.
LXC is a pretty nice virtualization.
Yeah, I remember you saying something about that. All right. Oh, I can also attach external drives to this thing?
Yes.
Oh.
Although I don't recommend it.
No, I'll attach them directly.
Unless you're pulling off of them.
All right. Control panel. Privilege, network and file services, applications. It's automatically got stuff for a DLNA media server.
Yeah, that's nice. Trying to find, does it do...
Six gigs. I've got 6 gigs of memory in this thing.
6 gigs. Interesting number.
So it looks like it was a 4 and a 2, most likely.
Yep, that sounds about right.
I tried to make him hate me,
Yeah.
but I failed.
Keep getting the purple guy, huh?
Okay, so it does support own Cloud X, so you can make a Dropbox-like system.
Ugh.
Better than Dropbox.
Dropbox is a nightmare though. Just the concept.
It is, especially how they limit you now to 2 devices.
AMD GX 420 MC SoC 4 core.
That's an old CPU.
Yep, memory slot 1, 2 gigabyte, memory slot 2, 4 gig. It's old, but it's not... It's at least power happy.
It works, yeah.
It doesn't kill my power. Applications.
A gang of you guys over there all doing the same thing.
Do what?
There's like a whole gang of you all doing divination over there. Funny.
I
I
have
saw, like,
sufficient.
a little 3D printed rack that would look like it was just holding like a modem and router and network hard drive and everything. I was like, that's actually super cute. Love it. I kind of want one of those, and so it's kind of enclosed, and just set up a fan so it'll still, like, you know, suck air over everything.
Yeah, some of the 3D printed people come up with are kind of cool. Kind of makes me want a 3D printer still.
Well, I really do want one, just for no particular reason. Like,
Ooh, I can install WordPress on this.
get out.
I mean, yes, you could.
Python 3.5. Entertainment.
Did he not even notice?
No.
What? Oh, you knocked me out for a minute and then brought me back in?
Yeah, and then I was laughing so hard I couldn't actually even drag you down. My mouse was bouncing around. I'm like, God damn it! Drag you out for a second. Like 30 seconds, I'm just like, my mouse is bouncing around trying to grab one. Oh my god.
Ubuntu Linux Station? What is this?
I don't know.
Allows you to install and run a Ubuntu Linux desktop platform on QNAP NAS. Remotely access the Ubuntu Linux desktop using a web browser by connecting a keyboard, mouse, and monitor directly to the, or by connecting everything directly to the NAS. Why would you want Linux desktop on that?
That's
So
a
it
bad
just
plan.
exposes a VNC desktop, it looks like.
Here it is, Container Station. Integrates both LXC and Docker virtualization technologies. LXC enables you to run virtual machines. Fully configured applications, just one click to deploy them. Oh, it does have a one click. It advertises for Minecraft as well. That's interesting.
Is there?
It says, also provides popular and fully configured applications, just one click to deploy them. LibreOffice, MongoDB, Nginx, Node.js, Redis, MySQL, WordPress, Deluge, Minecraft, Wine, Jenkins, GitLab, Redmine, Jamula, and much more.
It may do Minecraft Java though.
Yeah. Home automation, SDDP, PMix agent, and alarm clock. I can install McAfee antivirus on this thing.
Yes.
That would have about the same effect that installing WordPress on it would. Multimedia add-ons.
Nightmare dealing with WordPress stuff. I think it's just awful.
I stay away from that as much as possible.
It's okay for people who don't know things.
I guess so. Like,
It's easy to manage, is what I'm gonna say.
Yes. Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. I feel like the management stuff on websites, from what I've seen, isn't what I'm concerned about. But
When you have people that don't know how to work with websites and want point and click, WordPress is good enough.
And at least it has better SEO than Wix or what's the other one that's real popular everybody does?
Squarespace?
No, it's like a click and drag and drop website builder.
No idea.
Hang on.
we pretty much covered both the things that I've heard of.
Oh yeah, Squarespace. Yeah, you're right. It is Squarespace.
Squarespace is nice.
Except the SEO sucks.
Divination. What are you doing?
I'm upping my divination XP so that I can unlock
for 3 minutes.
Yeah, pretty much. That way I can unlock inventions and I can build stuff.
Like, does it ever let you build faster boots that you can give someone? You can run faster. Fuck the speed in this game. So slow.
Yeah, the speed is a little bit interesting.
Running across the starting town was just like, I'm like, this is toxic, and I have to run back and forth. Ugh.
I don't remember what the... Oh, here's my dash. It's going to be a full dashboard. Nice.
Wait. Did I already watch that video?
Already watched what?
Oh, there's like, I look at like mini like woodworking bench tops and stuff like that. So I'm contemplating trying to make one. One popped up, but I guess this is my home screen, so I probably.
I don't remember what the remote stuff in was for the site. That sucks. I knew I should have written it down when it popped up.
I just learned about something that has been in cars for years that I didn't know about.
What's that?
The CAN bus?
What, you didn't know about that?
Nope, never heard of it before.
That's what
Like-
they plug in everything to diagnose
I'm
it.
wondering if... Oh, I wonder if that's also the same thing that like my wife's insurance like had her like plug something in for a month or something.
Yeah, that they connect to that because it streams all the data of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it? State Farm sends you a GPS module. They don't connect to your car anymore.
Yeah, I don't know, like, or through like a really small insurance that like is like pretty much just goes through like an insurance broker type thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a small little company. But based on what I'm reading, what you can read from it, I'm like, this is exactly what you need to build in stuff to just plug in multiple cars so all the cars know what the other cars are doing.
Well, that is the theory. You can do a lot of stuff with the CAN bus. I mean, even drones have a CAN bus, but it's more simplified than a car's.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just talking about like whether you're just trying to pull like or build up like driving information or whatever, like you'd hook up this microcontrollers to them and read from them. Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. It's a good way of hacking your car.
I don't know if it's quite hacking.
It's definitely hacking.
You're just reading data that the car's willingly giving away. I haven't seen all that you can do with it, but I don't like. It doesn't sound like it's an input device or anything.
Did you get that, Trident?
I did. Very responsive, surprisingly.
It's really responsive, and it's actually a clean interface.
What if I did this?
Or like the first thing I was just glancing at the wiki article for it, like the warning on it. It may be technical for most readers to understand. Like English is more technical for most of the readers to understand, I think. So.
What'd you do? It just beeped at me 3 times.
I said, what if I did this?
Which is why I said, what did you do? It just beeped at me 3 times.
There's a locate my NAS if in some case you forget where you put it.
Oh, gotcha.
Seriously?
Yes.
Hey, Hills, are you trying to talk because it keeps flashing up and we're just not hearing you?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, no, I can hear you. Okay, good.
I was gonna tell you to pause that for a second because I'm gonna pause what you're doing for a second. 'Cause I'm gonna use. I have 3 of them. I'm gonna use on you.
What are we doing? All right, I stopped.
No interest.
What are you trying to do?
OpenDarkwing has no interest in receiving a prawn ball. Okay, well that's.
Well, no, I do. What do I have to do to get it?
I don't know. I've never used these things before. It's a prawn cracker.
I don't know how to make my interest say I do.
Oh,
there we go.
Boom.
Identify golden mystery egg?
I got one too. Golden
Use-
swordfish eggs.
Golden leaping salmon eggs.
Nice.
What is this?
It won't let me use the regular one on for some reason. It would only let me use the golden one. So I'm gonna go put these in my bank because I have no clue what to do. But that's fine.
Use. What does it do?
You use it in your so your player-owned house.
Yes.
When you make a fish tank, you can put fish in it.
Oh, okay. Trident's quiet again, which means he's poking around the NAS trying to figure out what to do. Which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
Do you smell smoke yet?
Not yet.
No data on those drives, right?
No. No, when I installed it, it cleaned the drives. I haven't done anything with the drives yet. Because I didn't want to do... I kind of wanted to play around with the capabilities until I got drives that I would actually going to use for it.
Okay. Well, don't put any data you don't want to lose on them. I made
Okay.
a RAID 0.
Oh, gotcha. What did you say that was? Hang on. You said it was up to... Why are drives so expensive?
Honestly, I don't know.
You missed out on a big sale of like Western Digital black drives. I think that's the right one. Like their 6 terabyte drive is like 180 or something like that. You could have bought 5 of those.
I bought mine on Amazon.
Exo Enterprises.
I think that's where the sale I saw was, or maybe it was Newegg. Ugh, why do I keep clicking on YouTube? No one wants to see that face.
I guess, yeah.
Am I connected to the NAS? Should I not be?
Huh?
But I am logged in. Should I not be?
Does it say anything?
I haven't got anything. Just update for the notification center. I haven't gotten any other notifications.
I think you're good. Here you go. It's formatting a 2.7 terabyte.
Data Vol 1 has started. What did I tell you that I got? Just that.
Here you go. There's like some 12 terabytes. Just for like $3.50 a piece. Just grab 5 of those.
Yeah, I saw that. Not at $3.50 a piece, I'm not. Wife will never let me do that.
How much were mine?
Huh?
Dropping $1,000 on drive, or $1,500 on drives.
Like
Two.
$1,800.
266 for a 14 terabyte.
Would you say?
266 for a 14 terabyte.
I see a 14 terabyte for $219.
Yeah, but this
WP
isn't NAS
arsenals.
rated.
I don't know. I don't care.
What color is the drive? Okay.
What do you mean?
What color is the drive? Is it a white, red,
It has red on it.
purple?
I don't know what red means. It says DOS. I don't know what DOS means. DAS, network drive. Or hard drive.
Hmm.
I can get a dual M.2 SSD expansion card.
For the system?
Yep. Or for whatever. I was trying to find where exactly it talked about the size, the drive sizes. For the
I just have
TS5
like a 2 terabyte network drive that I never use.
You just started the download of something?
I did?
Yeah, QSync Central installing.
I didn't mean to.
You've been hacked.
No, I was just saying. Oh, you added the media streaming also?
I didn't.
Well, I didn't.
I didn't click anything to.
Now I don't know who's doing anything.
I'm probably not doing anything.
What, you give him a login too?
No. No.
That's what I'm saying. It's probably not me.
You can even have it auto like tier your drives. So if you put an SSD, it'll tier that into a cache.
Yeah. I did see that. That
Yeah,
could
so
be.
you can put in 4 drives in an SSD. Since it's a 5 bay.
I could, yeah. Give myself a lot more cash.
Yeah. I mean that's more if you're pushing data to it, so you want it to be fast. Oh, sync files and folders on your NAS, you just install that. Do you want to show the quick start? No, of course not. Malware remover? Install that?
No, I haven't
Or is
touched any of this.
Automatically installing stuff.
It might be.
Just remove that. You don't need malware detection.
Ah, here we go. Compatibility. This 5 bay. Oh, I can get the 14 gig WD NAS drives.
Yeah. You. How much are the 14?
The Seagate Surveillance or the Western
I would-
Digital NAS drives.
Do. What's the 14 terabyte reds are 454. The 14 terabyte Seagates, the Exos, which is their enterprise, which is rated for NASs and RAIDs, is only 266.
This Exos drive on this compatibility list. This is.
The only good thing about the NAS drives is they come with data recovery sometimes.
Oh, it's the surveillance internal drives from Seagate is the ones that are compatibility. That's the Skyhawks. Those are
They should all be
$370.
Capacity. What capacity you're looking at?
I was just looking at the 14. I don't need anything that big. I was, even like 6 would be probably 6s would be fine.
Yeah, their 14 terabyte enterprise drive is what you should go for. That's the X16 Exos X16s. They're the cheapest and are on the compatibility list.
Toshiba's 16 gig enterprise drive is on the list.
I
Seagate's 16 gig surveillance drive is on the list.
That's
And their NAS drive.
too expensive.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I don't need to go that big. I mean, eventually it'd be nice to know that that's an option.
Well, it's more you gotta test it out.
I was happy enough. I was thrilled just to think that I was going to be slamming some 4 terabyte drives in this thing. Now that I know that I can go 6 or 8 each.
Well, if you get them from Amazon, if it doesn't work, you can send it back.
Yeah.
It's the only good thing. And then they'll be like, "Ah, just keep it."
Yeah, I'll get there.
Yeah, you will. Keep telling yourself that. It'll happen one of these days.
I mean, even if I don't have to get them all at once either. I can just build them up over time.
Yes and no.
Oh yeah, if I'm going to do redundancy, there's probably not going to be able to do it that way.
Yeah.
Figure out what you want to do. If you're just doing like striped pairs or something, just buy them in pairs.
Yeah, that's what I did for mine. And then added that pair into the pool.
2 sets of
But then you
pairs
can
and then do a
redundancy.
freaking...
Yeah, do a raid 1 on all of them. Actually, it doesn't even support raid 1.
I don't know. I hadn't gotten that far in yet. Like I said, I've got 3 1 terabyte drives in it right now, so I was just more looking at capabilities and
I mean, it supported
seeing how hoof it would be, but it looks like it's going to be amazing, or it's going to actually work out really well.
Okay, so the slot only supports SATA drive.
Figured out what hard drive I want to get, or what motherboard I want to get. This is awful.
Well, what CPU are you going for?
I think I'm gonna go with Ryzen 9,
Okay.
probably
okay.
a 3000 because I'm poor.
Yeah. Any of them work?
Honestly, just about anything made in the last like 5 years is probably a huge upgrade for me. So
Yeah,
Oh,
true.
yeah.
It does let you expand a pool. I don't know how they're doing it, though.
I'll have to do some... Maybe what I'll do is I'll do some testing where I'll pull one of these drives out, build a pool, throw some redundant stuff on there, and then expand it by just slapping one extra one in and see what it does.
Well, that's not really a way to test that, but you could do that.
What would be the best way to test? I mean, with what I have right now...
With what you have right now, if you pull out one of those drives, everything's lost.
Well, yeah, okay.
Because I made it a RAID 0.
Yes, so if we were to reset it so it's not a RAID 0 or whatever, and I pull one out and then we RAID it however to see how it would react with adding another drive in, then I would know about what I need to do for starting with 2, and then I can just upgrade one at a time going forward. If that would work, instead of having to go in pairs.
See, I don't know what their underlying storage is. And
With
how they manage it.
setting an SSH up, figure that out, or...
No. Is it snowing now?
What, you got snow?
No, I hear a plow. I'm wondering, is it snowing? And I didn't know. No, yes, it snowed, but like 1/4 of an inch. Like nothing. It's a dusting. But the fire department, they plow like every 5 minutes, it seems, when it's snowing.
I think the city might be changing some of its stances on not plowing alleyways after the whole garbage trucks were getting stuck in alleyways because there was too much snow and the city doesn't plow them.
The garbage trucks were getting stuck?
Yeah.
That's interesting. They're large and heavy.
Yep. So what happened was that people with trucks or whatever drove through and it packed down the snow in the two tire track marks, which then, gives you 2 inches of ice or 3 inches of ice.
Yep.
And if you fall off those, you're stuck. Because that's what happened to me. Spent the afternoon of my birthday shoveling out my SUV because it got stuck hard. Oh, I've got cinder cores and pulse cores, babe, for extra 20% right now.
Nice.
On top of
Thank
the
you.
double, it's chunking out. I'm level 60 already in divination.
Nice.
And I still have 2,500 of these things left.
I got 150.
What time does it roll over and I get new keys?
7.
8? 7?
Yep. 7
I
with
just-
daylight savings
You just
time.
have to log out and log back in, right?
Yep.
Oh, I don't even know how many oddments I have right now either. I have 4,000 oddments. After unlocking all that stuff. I'll take it. But even for now, I mean, I'm just trying to think how big is, well, let's find out. All right, so 4K resolution at 20 megabits per second bit rate gives me 84 megs a minute.
What are you transferring?
42 gigs an hour. I'm trying to mathematically run in my head of what I would need to hold some data, like how much space I'm going to want and or need. To try to figure out what size drives that I should look for. If I should, I'm thinking 4 or 6s would be where I would be at. But if we're
Right
rating
now,
it to striping, then it's half the size.
Yeah, RAID 1 gives you half. I think it does RAID 5. It supports, which gives you 4 plus like the redundant drive. So you lose a little bit.
So you would lose RAID 5. Oh, because RAID 5 would give the redundant drive to be the backup on that. So if you lose the redundant, either one of them, if you lose one drive, you're still good, right?
Yeah, RAID 5 if you lose one drive, but if you're using used drives, you wouldn't want to trust the RAID 5.
You'd want to do the RAID 1.
Well, I mean, even RAID 1's bad, but like if you're doing pairs, then you can lose one drive of the pair and you can have multiple pairs. And that's one way of doing it.
Trying to think who I know that might be able to get me some extra. It's like their company or whatever is shucking these things out. Where I can pick up 5 of them pretty
that
good.
a lot of companies have started, like, just, like, putting a hole through their drives and burning them, so.
Yeah.
Most enterprise are required to do that nowadays.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Woohoo, level 61.
Okay, so it does support a raid 1. It does go up to raid 6. I mean, or you can do a raid 10, which is 2 drives striped, and then a raid 1 across them.
Which gives me the most space without risking too much, where I could have a failure and still be safe.
I mean, personally, I'd do a raid 6 with this type of system. That way you can lose 2 drives.
So that means I would have the available space of 3 drives.
About, yeah.
So if it was 6, I would have 18 roughly. If I got 5, 6 drives. Although I have a feeling it will take me a while to get up there. I could even still do 4s and be fine. I mean, that still gives me 12 terabytes of usable data.
Yeah, with 5 6 terabyte drives, that would give you 18.
Because I think 6 is going to be that sweet price point of...
If you do 8, that's 24 terabytes.
I wonder what the price point for drives are.
You need this many terabytes. What do you need this for?
Mostly a lot of the video stuff that I'm recording. Because I'm running out of local space fast.
That usually happens.
Weird
you should,
shit are you and Angel Bob into?
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Pass it through Handbrake and convert it to H.265.
Yeah, I think for storage stuff, I'm going to be doing that.
Like, keep it high quality, but 265 should at least give you a couple more gigs per video. But
Because what I was thinking about doing is, like, my original plan was I would keep so much storage, and then after so long, I would just, because of how cheap it is, upload to Glacier Story, Amazon Glacier. Because I don't need to access it, but I still want to have it.
yeah, I mean, Glacier is good except when you need it.
Right, and that's where I'm kind of like...
But for videos, I don't think you really need it.
No. The other thing I was going to do was figure out how to manipulate BitBlocker for me. For pushing in storage. Is it BitBlocker? No, what is that you had...
Hmm?
Is that what it is? Hang on.
I use Backblaze.
Backblaze, that's what it was.
Yeah.
So, does
um,
that work just as a backup so it syncs what
Yeah,
it's currently on there, or can I push stuff to it and then remove it from my local system without it deleting it from
Well,
the backup?
The Backblaze, what you would be using is S3 compatible. So it would be like pushing to S3. So it's there until you delete it.
Because that might be the other option.
Yeah, and that's
Is keep it local here for local storage stuff that I need and I want to access, but when I'm done with it, push it to Backblaze. And if
Yeah,
I do
that's
that, then I can
0.5
get
of
away
strength.
with getting 2 or 4 terabyte drives and slapping it in there. Because I wouldn't need any more than 6 at a time. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And that drops me down to about $50 a drive
Yeah.
for 2 terabyte. I could probably find that in the 4s fairly easily.
Yeah, the thing I'm eventually going to do is set up a redundant system at one of my other houses and push backups to that.
Yeah.
So if you got another QNAP, I can put one at my house for you.
I
Keep a
don't,
redundant copy.
right? I might
Fucking
just pay.
Trident.
I might just pay you for space to do that.
I could do that. I got some space.
I'm
I'll
just
just-
gonna keep some backups in my other house.
I'll just.
Oh, my parents' house, you know. I can keep it in my data center down in Florida or my data center in Wisconsin, you know.
Yeah, for like a redundant backup or whatever, I'll just buy a block of space from you and
Just
Do
one
it
of my
that
couple
way.
houses. No big deal.
Well, I did. There was this device I backed on Kickstarter that turned out to be a total waste, called Space Monkey, and that was the idea. Is everybody that had a device would have part of its storage shared with everybody else to put copies of their files to.
Yeah.
In theory, it's great. In practice, not so much.
Some sort of like big weird thing.
Yeah.
Alright.
They started wanting to do a subscription price, and I'm like, I paid $300 with a guarantee that they weren't going to do it, and then they sold out to another company that immediately did that. Wow, that was back in 2011. Yeah, they sold it to Vivint.
Stuff.
I might just keep an eye on it when drives, because drives go on sale fairly regularly.
Fill it up, send one to me, and I'll keep a backup of it.
Just keep mailing Trident drives. You just start stacking them in the corner. Like, yeah, they're backed up.
I'll put in my fireproof filing cabinet, okay? I got a whole drawer open.
Remove storage pools successfully?
Oh yeah, I deleted it.
Oh, deleted the 0?
Yeah. Failed to connect to internet. Default gateway adapter 2 is wrong.
I need to figure out why I'm having weird issues with OBS and dropping frames all of a sudden.
GPU encoded?
I'm dropping about 1% of my frames from rendering lag and encoding lag, and I should not be in RuneScape. It doesn't matter. The last couple things that I've done, it hasn't mattered at all. Like, it was really bad the other night, and I don't know what's going on or what I need to do to stop it.
Interesting. And you're hardwired in now, right?
Yeah, no, I'm not dropping. There's 0 drop frames from network.
Oh,
So
so
this-
it's encoding locally.
Yeah, it's the missed frames due to rendering lag, 1%. Skip frames due to encoding lag, 1%. And I don't know what's going on with that. RuneScape, I mean, I'm only using 43% of my GPU and 20% of my CPU. I should not be having problems. So what I think I might do is I might uninstall and do a fresh install of my graphics driver and see if that does anything. But it might just be, I don't know. Because OBS Studio for my video encode is only using 30%. I mean, that should not be a problem.
Right.
And then 26%, and then, you know, a total of 43 total percent in my GPU. I should not be having any rendering lags, encoding lags, anything.
Mm-hmm.
Not with a 2070 Super. Because I noticed that it tends to jump when the FPS dips below 60, which, okay, I am broadcasting at 60, but I shouldn't be dipping. Because I can see when it happens, but I don't know why I'm dipping. And that's just, it's fucking my head up. Trying to figure it out. I don't know if I have something set too high in OBS. Output. My presets at quality. Profile's high. That's fine.
I don't think I like Heroes of the Storm, by the way. Just
I-
completely off topic.
I didn't give it a fair shake, but I didn't like what I played on it. How you doing over there, wifey?
Pretty good.
He's actually just getting stuff done instead of sitting around in a circle jerk like you are.
No, she's
I'm
circle
okay.
jerking near me somewhere.
Yeah, I'm circle jerk fletching over here.
So what level are you trying to get to?
I need to get to level 80 in divination, level 80 in smithing, and level 80 in crafting, I think it was. Yeah. I'm 75 in crafting, 70 in smithing, and now 62 in divination.
Are you gonna make it?
During double XP? Probably. Tonight? No. Probably not. I need to go pull apart the other two old servers that I have and see if they have any, what drives they have in there, what size they are. I might be able to scalp and salvage. Where I got those 1 terabyte ones. Well, that and the random box that I had.
So there's an app on the QNAP called BoxSafe, and it lets you do the reverse cloud backup. Back up your Google or Exchange onto the QNAP.
So I could pull my Google Drive completely from Google onto QNAP?
I don't know. It just says G Suite and Office 365. So maybe? And then if you want to manage 4,000 digital signage displays, it has an app for that too.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy how much they've got built into this thing. Like, it's a really good little home server thing. Or it's a not terrible one, actually. I guess would be a better way of saying it.
I may be weird and throw a couple random little hard drives I have once I finally set up my other computer into that, or my old computer at least.
Well, if you don't care about your data, then yes, that's fine. Only do
Well,
that
I mean-
with recreatable data.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, anything that we want to keep around is just sitting to a network drive that hardly ever gets used. Or backed up to a network drive that hardly ever gets used. I don't think anything's gonna really... I don't foresee anything going wrong with it. I still have spinning hard drives that I've, like, used aggressively for a long time and then stored and moved around, and they still work fine. So I don't know how people destroy hard drives.
Dropping them is a common
Again,
way.
I think I have a pile of hard drives that have made it through like 6 moves and still work. Although I do think I pretty much exclusively move around all my electronics. I don't let other people do it. I don't drop things.
That'd be okay. definitely a used drive. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So you don't know.
They do give a 3-year warranty plus the 90-day Amazon warranty on it though.
Which is surprising they would do that for a hard drive.
Unless it was something else that was wrong instead of the drive, it may have been like a PCB that went out or something, or
Usually, yeah. I mean, it is an enterprise drive, it says.
it's HGST Megascale, so that's not terrible. Well, that's a Western Digital, isn't it?
Well, it is now. This drive is from... I'm looking for a date.
I'm looking forward to seeing how much students complained in my recent grading of their programming assignment.
How many people you fail?
Actually, I don't think. Well, actually, a couple of people probably. This one overall was better than the first one. Like, more people actually listened and like had their program functioning.
Good.
But there's so like, one he's like, basically was like, just include your source code in a zip file. And people continue not doing that, so I had to continue like adding, delving into files. And since this was like server and like client setup, and none of it was set up friendly, so I had to run them all separately. Ugh, it was a nightmare.
Yeah,
I'm like,
can't
pretty much
people
any
even
time,
listen?
whenever anyone like nested something into separate folders, I had to like, upwards of a minute or two just for me to navigate in and back out of them to find their source code and everything. I'm like, with 40 students, that adds up to a lot of time. You're damn right I'm taking points off for this if you didn't follow instructions. At least a couple people who they were told their code has to run in terminal this time around instead of just open my code in IDE and hit run. Because that probably only works if I have an IDE that's set up like yours. Some people still continued using external libraries.
Why?
The first time before, one of them is interesting because they're using like a number formatting library. Because like part of the assignment was converting numbers into like the word like series of the number. But that wasn't necessarily like the whole point of the assignment. It was like a network server thing. That was just the code that was running on the server.
Interesting.
And I was like, so they actually built like the whatever the library needed that, says, hey, convert this to this words. I was like, okay, that's cool. But they'd like, of course, didn't include source code for that. So I'm like, I can't run this code. Previous assignment, they at least like they included all their jar files that their IDE made. So I'd at least test them. But yeah, I don't want to run your jar files. Just include all your source code you need. I'm pretty sure there's a way that you could have pulled the source code for this library that you're using. But I don't know, it's Sun, so you may not be able to. And then another person was using Sun for their special, like, big float, or like precision float library or something like that. I was like, this project specifically is talking about rounding to the nearest 100. You don't need a precision floating point to be able to handle that, so what are you doing here? I didn't look much at their code to see if there's something else in the library that they're kind of like hacking with, but
They thought you needed 100 digits. Nah.
Although I think on the first one they may have been like, I rounded out to the nearest thousandth. Do I get extra credit? I'm like, no, because you didn't follow instructions. Like program, like in a job, people are going to give you some specifications, and if you don't follow those, you're going to have to redo it or fix it, like, or end up not working there. Like, just follow the instructions. It's not that hard. Darkwing looks really confused.
Oh, I'm just trying to figure out.
As your network storage started talking to you.
No, it's my skipping and dropping frames.
Ah. You should just start renaming your streams like Darkwing plays video games while other people rant and talk about stuff.
No, that's what my streams are. If people aren't realizing they're getting involved in a random life podcast during my streams, then guess what? That's too bad. That's what
Oh,
I
that was
run.
bad timing.
3
I luckily
hours
did
of
it.
Runescape and how college students are lazy pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they are awful. I actually just had to talk because I've been contemplating like not even coming back to school. Like be like, all right, maybe I don't want my master's this bad. I might nip another quarter chance though. Let's see. Do have a couple things that came up that I think would be interesting to work on for a project though. One of which would be building a rig to take like real life data and then rebuilding it in like 3D and like, you know, Unity or Unreal or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
My thought process is something like, so they have those like not really VR, but the little like things that you set up for like bike riding and stuff like that. As you ride, you go around like a track.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, it'd be kind of cool to actually, even if you can't fully recreate like the surrounding areas, but actually use real life data to build like tracks for that. And I know the data processing probably shouldn't be that hard, or the data collection at least. Be interesting to be able to tie it in and pull like
I am
something
not
from Google
finding
Maps to try to figure out like
anything
the surrounding area and
of what.
create terrain that kind of looks like the area.
That would be cool.
They're like, oh, this is clearly in a city area. Let me put you among buildings. And have cars trying to hit you because that's what happens. Never been a big fan of most people that drive being a cyclist. Once I started riding my bike a lot, even hate them even worse.
I mean, I'm not a big fan of most people that drive as another driver.
That's true. I don't like them anymore in a car, but I feel less like they're gonna kill me in a car.
Yeah. One of my biggest problems this winter has been all of the transplants that we've gotten from warmer climates that for some reason moved to northern Indiana. So the roads will be out and salted and like either completely dry or just like barely like wet, and they're going like 20 miles an hour.
That's scary.
And it drives me crazy.
I'm gonna wipe out, you know.
Oh my god. I hate them so much.
Well,
I haven't
I
actually
got to
driven a
drive
ton in
in,
snow or ice, despite living in, you know, a snowy area.
I drove in on Monday in our snowstorm. Played Whose Lane Is It Anyway?
Yeah, but that's a lot different than roads that have been cleared.
Yeah, true.
Like, there's no ice. There's nothing on the road. You're fine.
Yeah.
I promise.
It's a game where the lanes are made up and there are no rules.
Yeah, I was pretty sure I was on the middle of the lane some of the day.
especially fun when it gets really bad. Like around here, we have like a bunch of like one-way roads downtown that are like 4 lanes wide for some reason. We don't have the traffic for them. Like traffic downtown is not a big deal, but for some reason that's the place where we can all the one-way traffic. But they plow and just put this giant berm down in the middle, so you can't even get like across. So you have to be really careful where you turn onto. You can only change lanes in intersections.
What you're
Unless you wanna-
supposed to do.
Yeah, exactly. It's like total opposite.
I'm getting to eat chocolate ganache.
Apparently about a year ago, this happened to a whole bunch of people, and it was NVIDIA having bad drivers.
Well, I mean, update your drivers.
They are current drivers, and that was the problem with people
Well,
a
that
while
could,
ago, but... Well, I think there would be a
What sucks contemplating getting new computer parts.
new driver.
On top of, you know, probably looking at spending $500 for a CPU. And then probably like roughly $200 for...
I hope that
RAM.
NVIDIA does what they say they are in crypto lock the 3080s.
It's not going to matter.
No, because they're still making a profit, even at half.
It's
someone's still gonna break them.
It's not
I
going to
mean-
solve the silicon shortage issue, and
No, I mean, it's probably the silicon that is rejected for being a GPU. That's probably what's being put in all those other ones. So that
Did you
kinda
watch
helps.
Linus's video on that?
Yeah,
I did, yeah.
I saw some of it.
I still like that's probably true, even if it's like rejected. If like
They still want to make money off of it, and that's the way.
And then if like there's enough demand, they'll start using real silicon for it anyway.
I mean, they really should just lock it entirely, like not half it, like make it like a tenth of what it should be. Make it not even profitable to buy the card.
What I'm wondering is if is this still some sort of features that it has other uses?
Well, I mean, it probably does. If it's more power efficient, is what they're saying, and should be the same as the GPU, it'd be good for people who use it for like mass rendering or
Yeah.
data crunching.
yeah.
That's what I'm wondering is if this
So-
also like is gonna hit like data science and stuff too.
Yeah.
because- Are they gonna be screwed out of a working card because of trying to manage the cryptocurrency stuff?
Yeah, so like all that AI computation on a GPU, that can be done in special cards. Don't need a GPU.
I don't know. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I still want my 3080.
But no, so I'm looking at like, say if things go really well, like what, 500, 700, 800 plus taxes. That's if I get like a good deal on 32 gigs of RAM. And then I'm still very shortly after that need to look at a new power supply. I think the power
Mhm.
supply I have will work just fine, but I'd rather replace it so that can go into my, continue staying with all my old parts for my new server PC.
Yeah.
And then I also have to get a new monitor because what's the point of having a 2070 Super and, a processor and board set that can actually push data and then running at 60 frames, 1080p. Uh,
Yeah, you can't be a peasant. Come on.
right? And so I'm like, I'm looking at an easy like a grand plus taxes, like at least.
Man, I spent that today. Feels awful.
Thanks. I think that's helping, Trident.
Well, I bought a water softener.
And he's probably in a couple days gonna have to buy a water softener for his other home.
No, I don't, because I don't own another home. I just have access to other homes.
Sometimes, if you completely out of context, Trident just sounds like some sort of like trust fund baby.
Right?
I'm building my own trust fund right now, and it's $1 at a time. Okay.
But yeah, I
That's
still don't
everybody's
know
goal.
which motherboard. It feels like when out of all the boards I keep looking at, like the newer B550s have like much better features than all the X570s.
It depends on what features you want. Like,
Yeah, I don't know.
go for a board that has at least two M.2s. I mean, that's becoming standard now. So
Yeah, I'm looking for something that has two M.2s, preferably has. Because I've seen some of them that have two M.2s, but one of them's like on the same channel as your 16X.
they usually try to do it on the second slot, not the first slot.
I've seen them on the first slot too. Like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well, that seems like a bad plan. Like, you're just you can't really use them at now.
Right.
But then I've also seen some that like one's on the second slot and the other ones are just taking up some of the SATA ports. I'm like, that's
Yeah.
probably fine.
My old motherboard did that.
Oh yeah, that price didn't even include M.2s. That's right. Well, that's
M.2s are
really
cheap
neat.
nowadays.
Yeah, that's true. But it all adds up
Comparatively.
when I'm making like $1,000 a month. It adds up very quickly.
True.
I might try to get some of our tax fund or stimulus if that ever comes through.
Oh yeah, we're supposed to get that, I think, next month.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything new about it.
Oh, the
I think they're
new
still
check?
debating on how much.
I haven't even looked to see what's going on with that.
I mean, it was being held up because they kept wanting to reduce who can get it,
Yeah.
which would
Which,
suck for a
based
lot
off
of
the
people.
prices that I keep seeing right now, the difference between a $50,000 income and a $70,000 income is almost non-existent in our market right now. So I don't know
Yeah,
why that's that's their big argument point.
in reality, it's more all like rent or mortgage that'd be going towards. So it's like it'd help anyways for most of the people.
Right. I would say one of the biggest like things, regardless of also helping people, is just also trying to simulate the economy. So it doesn't necessarily, in that regard, it's gonna probably do it.
Yeah.
But of course, there's people being like, well, clearly the whole like GameStop thing shows that people aren't using the stimulus and spending the money. And I'm like, I
Come
don't
on.
think even that was a huge amount of number of people involved.
Yeah.
No, not really. There
That
was
was
like
a bunch of people
one
that probably
major
didn't
guy.
need the stimulus in the first place. Let me look at the stats on this one.
It looks
I
like
think I've been trying to look at maintaining like a name brand board because
You could buy it off of Wish. Yeah, you'll get a 3080, but it won't be a 3080. It'll show up as a 3080.
It'll be a 970
Maybe it'll show up as
masquerading
a
as a 3080.
It's a GP 104. That's a 1060. Yeah, that's what they do.
Is
They flash the
the-
BIOS to look like another drive or card.
Is
Yep.
like a X4 just the highest like M.2 slots usually go?
Yeah, 32 gigabits per second.
I mean, that's way faster than anything I have right now.
Well, if you got an NVMe, then it's perfect for it. Because those usually do 24 gigabits per second.
There we go, babe.
Yeah.
Up to 65 now.
Yeah, when you look at the motherboards, they'll say it's 32 gigabits. M.2, and that just means it's an X4.
Like the port supports it, whether anything actually supports that speed right now.
There are some M.2s that are pretty fast.
Yeah.
Samsung, I think, has one of the faster ones now.
I mean, my main, like, I just now switched out, like, within, like, 2 years ago to an SSD for my main drive, and I still have most of my data on a spinning disk. So. And I may end up continuing just swapping out. Well, if I can, I'd like to just leave this SSD where it's at, because... No, never mind if I'm gonna probably... Oh no, we'll see. I'm gonna decide exactly what will happen to this PC.
Looks like the bill is getting fully introduced into the Congress tomorrow.
Oh,
So
cool.
if it passes through, we should be, by the end of March, we should be getting checks.
By the end of March.
75,000 for individual and 150 for joint filers.
Yep.
Ooh, 75. Nice.
Plus an extra whatever the 1,400 is for each dependent. So
Wait, how much is everybody getting?
30.
1,400?
Yeah. If you fall into those categories, yeah.
Cool.
So that's a little over 4,000 for us.
That's definitely a nice number.
Let's see.
And plus, we just
Is it
filed
bad that I
taxes,
still
so
want
there's
to
that.
just have built-in Bluetooth?
Most of the wireless have it. So if you get a motherboard with wireless, it will have Bluetooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, just don't get my motherboard I got.
Which one's that?
It's the ASRock Creator X570.
If you get mine, make sure the first thing you do is test the audio ports on it, because some of them don't work sometimes.
Isn't that like a driver issue?
No, it would end up being, well, it might be. No one knows, because the updated drivers didn't fix it. But I use a DAC anyway for my headphones, so it didn't bother me enough to jump through the hoops to tear apart everything to send it back. I mean, I'm not going to use the 3.5 millimeter anyway. Anything I do is going to be in and out of this DAC, so I don't care about Realtek at all.
Yeah, Realtek is pretty much garbage.
Yeah,
But it's on pretty much every board, too.
yeah.
Alright, so I'm really... I don't know. I end up always like looking at like pretty much MSI or like Asus boards.
I mean, ASRock is nice. You can get a fairly cheaper board with those. Also depends on what size motherboard you want.
Oh, I'm just looking at a full board. No, I'm not super picky, but
Yeah, it's
it usually is just
micro
cheaper most of the time.
ATX, mini ATX. Minis are usually more expensive
Yeah.
and only give you one PCI slot.
I think
Micro
that's
gives
probably fine.
well, no, it usually isn't. It's so tiny. Unless you want to make a super compact PC.
No, I mean mine. I can't remember. Mine's
Like
just got the 2 PCI slots on it currently, and I'm fine with
so
that.
you have a micro ATX.
But no, the second one's not accessible. Well, maybe it's got. So it's got 2 full slots. I think it might have 1 small or something like that, like the X ones.
Yeah.
But none of the other slots are accessible with my 2070 in there.
Right, I know.
Because they are pretty much all on top of each other. That's like the only thing. I had to take out my wireless card out of it when I put my 2070 in, but that was fine. I don't really use it for Bluetooth. Like the only thing I use it for is Bluetooth, which I'm not using right now anyways. Oh. Alright. Alright, talk today. One of the because the professor had another professor in as a witness, because he's like, I don't want to get screwed if you decide to sue me or the school. My God, this isn't that sort of talk I want to have with you, Jesus. One of the students, or one of the professor's students, was like a professional violinist, which who the fuck has time for that and other school? Like Jesus. But so what he is like he was for his thesis / project was building a system to auto detect where both the violin is being held and what angle and the bow and everything to go ahead to give you real-time instructor information without an actual instructor. And so in order to get there and build all of this, they obviously needed a test bed to see where it's working. So the professor is like, that's too much time. So he just built the system that can mimic the movement of a bow in every direction and everything like that. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Alright, that's actually kind of cool though. So it actually mimics moving the bow up and down and angled and tilts and twists and everything. I'm like, I don't have any time for this stuff.
Oh, this is riveting, isn't it?
It's content.
Well, that's what.
Not
That's
much,
why-
but it's
That's
content.
why we
about
have
this.
conversation. I can sit here and try to figure out why I'm dropping on average 1 frame per every 100 frames. And
That's something that's not noticeable to anybody except you looking at the numbers.
yeah, I know, but it still shouldn't be.
It's not
I
noticeable to-
I should not be getting better streaming and better performance and encoding in PUBG than I do in RuneScape.
And
That should not be a thing.
yeah,
It's something
RuneScape
you're doing wrong,
doesn't
I'm sure.
Use a lot of anything really.
Oh, and my RuneScape graphic settings are set to medium.
Yes.
So
There's
there's
too much work.
surprised that
there's
this
something
guy's
wrong.
project was this. Like the professor's like little blurb about himself is like software and hardware systems engineering, especially for aviation military applications with embedded systems and mechatronics. No wonder he was excited about building this test bed. That's what he does. I bet you he was like an electrical.
And push more. And off. I wonder if I just have too much stuff going on inside of OBS, but I haven't added any, so I don't know.
I don't know.
Too
The one
much
I'm looking at,
processing or
right?
something?
What's the difference between Wi-Fi and no Wi-Fi? Oh, $20. That is not a significant difference. I'm looking at one of the ROG Strix boards right now.
What did
It
you
looks
say?
exactly kind of what I'm looking at.
What did you ask, Trident?
I don't know.
Oh,
I can't remember.
He
What were we
immediately was
talking
getting
about?
ready to correct me.
bitching about my freaking frames dropping if there's too much stuff going on in OBS.
Oh,
Have you
Wait.
tried turning it off and back on again?
My GPU hasn't spiked above 50%, 40%, and my CPU is under 20%, so I have no fucking clue.
well, it also depends on like what kind of processing OBS is doing. Like, is it doing overlays and stuff? That
I don't have that much in overlays, though.
I don't know what would be it.
Let me see. Right, being back on. Oops.
What did you do?
I fixed it.
It's a black screen.
Nope, that didn't do it.
So this one's like $210. Has a PCI 4, X16, a 3X16 that, you know, shares bandwidth with all the X1 slots. Which if all else fails, that's another slot to put a NVMe like card in.
Yeah.
Yeah, get a NVMe riser.
Oh,
Got two NVMe drives that are on their own. Well, one's on its own bandwidth, and one's sharing with a set of connectors. Which hopefully, I mean, honestly, I only have what I think a 500 gig SSD in this right now and a terabyte spinning disk. And that, for the most part, is handling data just fine for my, you know, actual doing some shit.
level 66.
So I think I can actually manage to put everything in NVMe and not actually worry about like another SSD or anything. Which I'm actually mostly excited about this switch, because if I can get rid of my spinning disk, that means I can modify how my case is sitting right now, because the main thing that's keeping me from doing that is that I don't want my spinning disk sitting at an angle. I think that's the only thing that would probably be impacted by that. Well, maybe fans, because I have cheap fans, but whatever. They might be angry about sitting at an angle.
Possibly.
Do not talk about your Wi-Fi being high performance gaming. Ugh.
Unless it's Wi-Fi 6, it's not high performance. Well, that's not
No,
necessarily
it is
true.
luckily, but I mean, I'm pretty sure even the awful old school Wi-Fi I have is faster than my internet, so it probably doesn't matter.
Most of the times, yeah.
I haven't done any testing between, computers or anything to see how fast my, network or Wi-Fi is, but
What's the program
it's
called?
slow.
This?
Honestly, the one thing that I'm excited about is, not having. No, I've heard at least in like the 3000 series and 5000 series chips, they've actually stopped being, little nuclear furnaces to some degree.
Oh yeah, iPerf is what you need to test what your bandwidth between computers is.
What?
iPerf.
Ah.
I use it all the time.
Because I definitely know the FX chip that's in my computer right now, it, like, gets hot. Oh.
Oh yeah, FX is also known as a Inferno.
What's funny is, even before, like, I fixed the cooling issues, like, because my old case was not built for cooling, and, like, I don't necessarily think I ever saw, like, it throttling itself, so maybe that's just not something that's built in. Maybe is a bad thing. But I definitely know I've seen it hit like 90 degrees. Things were really bad when I tried to put the 2070 Super in my old case because there wasn't the right airflow, and the 2070 Super was just shoving its air into the case on top of the FX chip.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's the
whole
only
thing.
good thing about a blower type GPU, which none of the aftermarkets make.
Yeah.
Nor the
Oh.
new 3080s have it anyway, so
Now I have, 3 intake fans blowing across my case, so
yeah.
that has drastically changed cooling.
Yep.
Like 2 of them are blowing underneath the GPU, so that should be taking a lot of the air out the back of my case.
Yeah. It's funny, like, how many cases do not have any good airflow. It's like, who thought this was even a good idea to make?
Yeah.
Like, solid front panel and, like, no intake anywhere. Like, seriously? You can probably get, like, a half a fan's worth of airflow.
Yeah, my old one just had the, like, single exhaust fan. But I mean, this was a case from 10 years ago, too, so that's some of the reason. But, like, it definitely, that was not enough room to move, like, even just the CPU, like, heat out of there. So now I just have 2 exhaust fans sitting above the CPU. And hopefully that seems to do everything runs so much cooler and surprisingly quieter, despite the fact that I have like I
Oh,
went
they don't
from
have to
fan
run
in
as
a
fast.
case to 6 fans in the case. So that's a pretty big increase in number of fans. They're not speed controlled. They're running at full speed. It's still just quieter than that old case. That may be the CPU fan doesn't have to run as fast.
Maybe.
I think that is actually cheap. All my cases are cheap. They're just 3-pin connectors. Mullet? Mullet.
Try this then.
I don't want to talk about the hell of the line.
What?
Oh, like my computer came with 3 fans. Maybe 4? No, 3 fans. Because I come with a back exhaust fan. Then I got like 3 fans for like $20 too. To run a PC. And they're probably gonna die on me.
God, that is an awful computer.
Huh?
I'm looking at Facebook Marketplace. A computer just popped up. Oh God, it is an awful computer. Has a GT 730. 4 gigs of RAM and a 250 gig drive.
Yeah, I've been seeing a lot of those because I kind of look at Facebook just for mostly network stuff because I want to pick up a new router. We've talked about it.
They call it a gaming PC.
Yeah, some of the stuff I've seen called a gaming PC, I'm like, that. No.
No.
That you can't. What are you meaning in that? What?
There's one for trading a 3070 for a 3080. Uh-huh.
Just a straight swap.
Let's
Yeah.
try this.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Someone's advertising a Tough Gaming X570 plus motherboard for like $200, and they're saying it's new and out of box, never been powered on. The picture they have is it in a fucking case, covered in dust. Or they
Some
certainly
people
look like it's covered in dust. It looks
are
very
smart.
very much not black. Like maybe that's supposed to be gray. I don't know, but if it's installed in a case, it's not. It's been out of its box, bud.
Never seen a lipo in that form factor. $11-year warranty? I call bullshit.
Huh. Nope, that didn't change anything either. Well, shit. Oh well. I got much more digging and research to do on figuring out why OBS is acting.
Maybe you can work on it next stream.
No, what I should do is just ignore it, and because it's not affecting... It's more of a mental thing for me, and it's not actually affecting what people see on the stream at all. At least as far as I know, it's not, so I'll just close the stats and pretend that it doesn't exist.
Only someone recommended that like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know. I was just hoping that I could figure it out and fix it while I was doing this.
I feel like this has come up in like the last like 4 streams, so
What are you guys doing tomorrow night, by the way?
crying.
Nothing.
Crying and nothing. Tarkov or PUBG?
Crying.
Well, let's start.
I am
Tarkov.
currently like 3 assignments behind on grading, which I should be doing right now, but I'm exhausted. And I have over the next 3 days assignments due.
So you're not
I'll
joining us
depend
tomorrow
where I go
night?
Tomorrow. Probably not.
All
Or
right.
I might.
Or
Or
let me rephrase. You are going to join us tomorrow, and every 10 minutes you're going to say you should be grading, but you're not.
10 minutes. Make it 5.
All right, so Tarkov tomorrow. Okay.
Let's start with Tarkov, and then once we yell at it, and then switch to PUBG.
Oh my god, I'm so scared of. What's funny? So I insured almost everything that we went on because I was like, I'm dying. Like that's just unreal. And it turns out you gotta log in within like a day or two after the insurance comes through to collect it.
What?
Or else he's like, well, I sold it. Sorry.
Fuckers.
Which I mean, that's exactly what thrift store insurance would be like, though. So
So the Ark clan switched to Valhelm over the weekend,
Interesting.
which is pretty much Ark except it's Viking shit, not dinosaur shit.
I think
Yeah,
it looks good.
I've seen a few people play that. I haven't watched it myself. and
It looks
probably not
fun.
a game I'd play.
It definitely is a game I would want to play, but I have so many building survival games. Like, I
Yeah.
can't justify spending money on another one.
All right, so Tarkov tomorrow, which means I need to start familiarizing myself with a map so that we have an understanding what's going on. Might drag my laptop down here so I can keep an eye on that.
There is an offline mode that you can log into, right? That you don't lose anything.
Oh, to get to look at and yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if figure that out. Does YouTube have a test stream where I can stream up? Oh yeah, I can make it so it's not accessible to anyone except for those that have a link. That's right. I know how to do that.
Alright, so I'm looking at basic Rock Strict B550F. Seems fine. Oh, I got an email.
Yeah, I can do that. What if I could release some of my GPU load? Excuse me. By just
I know a way you can release a load.
changing my output. from it being, instead of running it all at my screens in 4K, running it all in 1440, full screening my main display and just having everything else on the side.
Oh, I could probably save money on a motherboard, but I want something that I can foreseeably, you know, have an upgrade path in the future
Yeah,
without replacing a new board.
Do you not like it?
it depends on how far ahead in the future you're looking at upgrading and what chipset and all that stuff too. I mean,
No, I
you
mean,
said AMD,
even
right?
just the fact that a board that supports, like, you know, say a Ryzen 5K, like 5000 series.
Oh, yeah.
Most of the motherboards should support it with a BIOS update.
A lot of the cheap ones don't seem to.
Well, true. That's why you don't go for the cheap ones.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it pretty much, from what I'm looking at, puts me closer to, like, you know, $200 motherboards as opposed to sub 100.
It's hard to find a low-priced board that's actually good. That actually has features, I should say.
Yeah, that's the other thing that I've struggled with, because I'm like, having, you know, two M.2s, and also preferably at least a PCI 4 slot, even if, you know, it may not currently be mattering. I don't know. I know I don't want anything that's like, oh, in order to use the M.2, your, you know, main PCI slot is an X8. That doesn't seem like a good plan.
Well, that's the good thing about the AMD is you get a couple more PCI lanes compared to Intel.
I just like the fact that, you know, $500 gets me a much better, or a much hardier CPU than $500 in Intel.
Yeah.
I'm curious as, like, more and more stuff becomes, like, you know, multi-threaded and cored and everything like that, like, it's more friendly to use more stuff. If we'll see that becoming more of a contention point between AMD and Intel. Because, like, a $500 Intel is like an 8-core system, like, or an 8-core CPU, versus, you know, 12 and AMD. Not that I think I'll use anything, since I currently have 8 cores and 8 threads in my computer now. So even an 8-core CPU is, like, with hyper-threading or whatever, is going to be interesting.
All right. Come on now, move faster. I keep getting hit with these nice cores. More XP boosts. Hey, Hills.
What's up?
What are memory strands?
No fucking clue.
Okay.
I have like 1,000 something.
Yeah, I keep getting them. I didn't know what they were for.
They teleport to some place that I'm not sure what you're supposed to do there. So, yeah.
There we go. Oh, what time is it? Oh wow, it's 10:09 already.
Nah, it's not even 6 yet.
Right.
I've been watching, I don't know, I think it was channels like DIY Perks or something like that. They do a bunch of like electronic rebuilds, so like they make their own monitors and like repurpose like electronics and stuff like that mostly.
Yeah.
They did like this sweet like brass monitor out of an old laptop monitor. Oh my god. Like why don't I have the time and energy? Doesn't even look complicated to do. Just some brazing. Like all of it was just brazed.
Am I winning? I don't know, Nauseam. I don't think there is a winning to this game. I'm getting XP. How you doing, man?
Darkwing ever won at anything? That's what I want to know.
Sure I did. I won with genetics because of my strong and great meat. Never mind.
Why do I want to watch something that's just someone mowing an overgrown lot? Like, that has to be more entertaining.
1,000 protein cogs need to burn through. Yeah, I'm trying to get my divination. Since it's double XP, I'm trying to shoot my divination up so that I can get
Got him.
the divination 80, obviously. I'm at 75 in crafting, which I need to get to
I used
80,
to at least
and then
laugh when I make
smithing.
fun of Darkwing. Like, the absolute silence makes me think, maybe I'm being too mean.
There is no such thing as too mean, my friend. Trust me.
Every time I feel like I might cross the bar, like, Angel Bob actually just takes it and runs with it anyway. So. Like, oh, maybe I didn't.
Yeah, no, like I said, you're not gonna go too far. Plus, I've learned not to take a lot of stuff seriously. Like, I can separate jokes and seriousness pretty easily.
Oh, it is a DIY perk. So they did, like, basically they took a screen out of a touchscreen laptop and built it into a USB-C touchscreen monitor with, like, some, you know, off-the-shelf Chinese control board or something like that. I'm like, that is awesome. You stuck the battery in it so you can use it on the go like a cell phone. Absolutely ridiculous. And I need it. Alright. Let's open a new YouTube window.
Open a new YouTube.
Can you please, can you please go in the bedroom?
Yeah, right now.
She trying to kick you out of the living room again?
Yep. Well, I gotta go to sleep pretty soon, kiddo. I gotta work in the morning. I gotta go to sleep pretty soon. I have to work tomorrow.
Tell her don't worry. We'll be playing Spore tomorrow.
Playing what tomorrow?
Spore, her new favorite game.
Pretty solid game.
Yeah, not bad. She loves it. Getting her used to using a keyboard and mouse finally. Ended up buying a like a travel Logitech little travel mouse thing, so it's smaller for her hand.
Yeah.
Worked out really well.
Was it too big for your hands? Shh.
Almost. I've got small hands for being a big fat guy.
Oh, god damn it.
At least my
My
feet are
other-
about normal size.
Turns out because I muted one YouTube video, YouTube decided all my YouTube videos wanted to be muted.
Don't you love that? My Ethernet is all over the place. Alright, I'm gonna release these out, see where I'm at, and probably head off and get to bed so that the wife can sleep. I jumped a lot of XP in divination tonight, though. Jesus. Alright. Kharkov tomorrow. Day the 22nd. All right. I do appreciate you guys hanging out with me when I stream, though. Even if you're not playing the games with me, It makes it a lot more enjoyable to have someone to talk to.
Then nobody says anything.
Yeah, I know, right? Everybody goes completely silent at that point.
Thank you guys for talking with me.
Sure.
Build a soundboard in this thing, just have crickets.
You need a laugh track.
I actually just found. I can't remember where it's at, so I may not be able to find it again. But it's a little microcontroller that actually just like plugs in USB and like kind of very easily replicates like keyboards and stuff like that. I was like, oh, this could be like a $20, you know, little soundboard or something.
I'm sure I could find something to soundboard with my Stream Decks and just build it in.
Oh yeah, no, that's saying like it's just a cheap little Stream Deck.
Yeah.
If you got a little bunch of little LCD screens, totally make a replica of a Stream Deck.
Oh yeah.
You saw that on YouTube?
What?
You saw that on YouTube?
I think I saw one on YouTube somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, for some reason I got recommended a bunch of different ones like that.
But I think like for the most part this was just like, oh, you can just, you know, use it for keyboard shortcuts or, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
And like that actually has all sorts of cool little options though.
Yeah, the one I saw, one of them had like 6 OLEDs, like tiny ones that press buttons.
Nice.
And then another one was just standard buttons that did things. Apparently there's a community that makes firmware for microcontrollers that do this.
I mean, it wouldn't be any different than having an X amount button frickin' mechanical keyboard. Well, Hills, I made it from 59 to 62 tonight in divination. Or I mean 67.
Awesome.
And I still have 1,600 of these protein memories left over.
That's awesome. You get halfway there.
Yeah, 17 of the 30 that I needed. No. Yeah.
It'd be nice to just have a button to press that's like, you know, Control Shift F9 or something like that, so you're not likely to, you know, run into weird hotkey issues.
Oh, nope, 68. Level 68. Alright.
Like, turns out me using Alt-B to mute and unmute Discord, most programs don't like, because that starts bringing up file menus.
Alright, guys. I think that's going to wrap it for me tonight. Go back tomorrow night with Escape from Tarkov.
Honestly.
Yeah, I'll keep updating what's going on with this. It should be around by the next weekend, maybe. Goes until March 2nd. So yeah, probably at least one more night of this next weekend. But, because next weekend will be the last weekend of Dbl XP, so we'll see how it goes. I don't think I'm going to get through 42 hours of
Dude, what the hell?
Dbl XP by then. I might. Who knows? But, yeah. I appreciate you guys coming, hanging out. I will be back tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Till then, take care of yourselves. Be kind to one another. And all that fun stuff. And we'll catch you. It's dropping right now when I'm in this. Yep, we're still dropping even though we're not running any games at all. So there's something going on. I'll have to figure out what's going on. Anyway, we'll see you all tomorrow night. Good night, guys.